gentlemen, welcome to your HSBN Media Day press conference. Coach, if you could just start by introducing yourself and the gentleman you have up here with you today.
Mike Fetterman, Coral Springs High School. Got Ryan Monarchy, Jr., Logan Taylor, a Junior, Gavin Roberts, a Junior, and Zach Strobus, Senior.
So year 4, I think now is the head guy over at Coral Springs. You can't just start by talking a little bit about the differences now as opposed to when you first started taking over the program. Obviously, you've had a little bit of time now to mold it the way you want it.
Not too much different, just different players. First 2 years I had leftovers with Frank, and that was working well, and then we had new kids come in, and a lot of the kids had played with me in the past, and now it's just last year was a tough year. We knew it was going to be a tough year going into the year. We wound up finishing the season with 5 sophomores and 2 to 3 freshmen and a junior starting when we had 8 seniors. So we kind of, went a little bit backwards, but I think it was the right decision to make at that time, because I think the experience that these guys got last year is only going to propel them, for the upcoming season.
And you return, I think, a lot of the team outside of those seniors. It was a pretty large group of players besides the senior class from
Correct.
Last year, am I right?
Correct. We return pretty much, minus the shortstop and second base last year. Everybody else that's returning is looking at being a starter again this year. I did get an addition with Ryan transferring back to his home school, and then we just had a kid transfer in as well. Might help out in the infield as well as being able to play multiple positions as well. So that's where we're at.
Were any of these guys some of those younger players that were given their opportunities last
year? Yeah, minus Ryan, Logan, Gavin, Zach. Zach's a senior, but Zach stepped up last year, played quite a bit for us. We look for a lot more this year. These 2 guys, Logan was either a DH or catching, so he played pretty much every game. Gavin played a little bit, before the at the beginning of the season, and then after spring break, pretty much cemented himself in center field. So, we don't have room, but there's a lot of those other younger guys that are going to fill in the same spot.
Maybe you guys could share with me how valuable that experience last year was for you now going into this season.
It was really helpful because I got to play a lot as a sophomore, and it was just really helpful to get the experience young going into my junior year to just see what it is to play varsity.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest jumps, obviously one of the hardest transitions usually from JV to varsity is the speed and the pace of the game. How much did that benefit you now that you are aware of what that's like?
It's incredible. The atmosphere is completely different. You got to play 100 times harder. Got to play 100 times harder, and got to compete. Absolutely compete and try hardest.
Get to play a lot. Anytime, no matter what it is. Most ball players, you're wearing your cleats and your uniform. Coach says, "Hey, I need you to do this." Well, I'm ready. Just talk about having a coach and a team that trusts in you and gives you all those opportunities.
Yeah, I feel Coach Fed's done a great job throughout my 4 years being here. But last year playing as a junior, getting all that work really helped me be prepared for this year. And I think we're ready to compete this year. So.
If you can, tell me a little bit, take me through kind of the identity of the team. Is there a certain element, maybe pitching or hitting, that you feel is where you're the strongest and you're going to lean on?
I don't think there's you can pick one particular thing. I think this year, as far as the pitching staff goes, it's going to be, a lot better than we were last year. Those guys, we had 3 freshmen get quite a few innings last year. A couple of the guys that were sophomores through, since, we had to go in a different direction. They throw strikes. We're not going to blow guys away with velocity. They throw strikes. Defensively, just in the early preseason now with the workouts we've been having, looks a lot better than it did last year. Obviously, last year, young guys, mistakes, nervousness, they know what to expect. And as far as the hitting goes, we made a little adjustment coaching-wise. We brought over Coach Lopes from Deerfield, who was the head coach over there. He's working with our hitters. So we're looking, hopefully, with a little better direction offensively this year. we didn't hit too well last year, so anything above what was last year is definitely a bonus.
And I think you're a pitcher as well, right?
Yeah.
Talk about being able to come in and, add something to the pitch staff. Even when, like you said, I mean, you've got at least 3 sophomores that were freshmen throughout last year,
Yeah.
Share some of the things that you do to help to bring the whole pitching staff along.
Well, I help out in the middle infield, obviously, but I'm just a right-handed arm that can come in, get you innings, throw you some strikes, get some outs. Not a huge power arm, but definitely get you outs. Help out the staff.
I mean, especially in high school baseball, half the time we always say you just got to throw strikes.
Yep.
You don't have to blow by everybody.
You just got to get it over the plate, make some guys miss, make some guys make some outs.
Are you seeing some of those younger guys starting to respond and see that and say, hey, he's not lighting up, triple digits every time he throws, but he's throwing strikes?
Yeah, I think the bullpens are a lot more consistent now. Nobody's trying to overthrow, just trying to make your pitches.
It's an unforgiving district that you guys play in. It's full of some nice local rivals, and it's kind of the teams you've always. I mean, you almost couldn't see you not having the district with those teams. But take me through what that gauntlet's like.
It is what it is. I mean, every year look, all serious put aside, I'd rather play tough teams because the tougher you schedule, you need to have some vary in your schedule. But I believe that, the tougher we play, the better we are prepared for the end of the season. It's not going to be great if I go 15-5 and really don't have anybody on the schedule and then get to district tournament and have to play the teams in my district and get bounced in the first round. It does happen. Teams have bad games, but I'd rather. It's not necessarily about the record. It's about getting these kids prepared for what's beyond this. There's only going to be one winner at the end. 9A, you got, 100 schools competing for one title. There's only going to be one. So you got a lot of people that are unhappy at the end of the year. We're looking just to get better each and every time we set foot on the field. I know what we have in our district. It is tough, but it's only going to prepare us for the end of the year.
And it's also so many locally. I mean, I got to assume each one of these teams, all the guys on those other teams. Does that add,
they've either play. I mean, you're watching teams, you're passing by here, even private schools. Kids from every other team. They're playing with them in the summertime. They're friends. Ryan was at Taravella and transferred over, so he's got his friends there. He's got his friends here at Coral Springs. He lives across the street from us. So it's it's not the way high school baseball used to be.
Yeah.
You were at one school and that was it, and you didn't like anybody else. Now everybody's friends with everybody because you're not just playing the high school season with a lot of these kids. You're traveling on weekends, tournaments in the summertime. So, there is a lot of familiarity with kids from other places now where there usually wasn't.
I was looking at your guys' schedule this year. Some tough road games you guys got. Got to be a little bit of road warriors. Talk about some of these tough games. Not even just playing a tough opponent, but also in a tough environment. Westminster Academy, Park Vista, Naples, Forest Hill. Those are tough places to win at.
Yeah. I actually love playing tough teams. It's not really fun when you're up 13-0 in the second inning. I love the 1-1 games, 0-0 games going through the fourth. It makes everybody fired up. They want it. They love it. And especially at home when you have people cheering or on the road when people are cheering against you, it makes us even want it more.
Coach, talk a little bit about the Colts First Pitch Classic. You guys always host the tournament to start the year.
It was at one time the thing to do, and with baseball changing and everything changing year after year, and more teams having these preseason tournaments, it's dwindled down over the years. But again, we're going to host our tournament. Look forward to it. Always like having something at home, and hopefully you win your own tournament. But we're just looking to play games. Just play different teams. Just have some fun. That's I think what it's about. I mean, the environment, the atmosphere is loose, but when it needs to be serious, it's serious.
And again, starting the season with a tournament environment like that, do you find that helps you? It's very competitive, obviously, with something like that, because you want to win the tournament.
Of course you do. Of course you do. And, you want to set yourself up in the right place to start the season off the right way, on the right foot. Last year we started off, I think, 0-3, 0-5, but, you got to take a little positive with every loss. I mean, losing teaches you a lot. Winning sometimes doesn't teach you much. So we had a lot to learn last year, and a lot of that was guys playing maybe a little bit above what their competition was. And then as the season progressed, some of those guys that were a little bit behind that kind of started to pick it up. And, you know, excited about this year. It's gives these guys a whole year playing at that level, summertime as well. And, you know, it should be a little, you know, not should be, but we expect to be a lot more competitive.
Coach, you know, as you mentioned, there's a lot to learn in losses. Is there any one particular aspect that maybe you found you learned the most, you know, through some of the struggles from last season?
I mean, last season it was hard. Every game we lost, we learned something new. So like, it's not really one particular thing. We all had to work on something for ourselves, and I think that helps a lot coming into this year.
You mentioned about you know, like Ryan coming in, you mentioned some of the transfers. Are there also any, you know, younger guys maybe that were on JV last year that are going to start to make that transition and really contribute? Because Coral Springs is another school that's always really done a great job of integrating younger players out.
The younger players that we've brought up this year were, you know, sometimes they play a little JV if they didn't get time on varsity last year. Our JV this year is going to be our JV, and those guys that are up are going to be up. And I don't know how the JV is going to play out yet at this point, but if there's anybody that steps up in my mind or my eyes, and obviously I'm not going to keep anybody back, and that just means that it pushes, you know, everybody's out there to compete. Every day is you know, there's nobody set in stone, and they all know that. So they've got to, you know, you got a bad day, that other guy may not have a bad day, and I can make a change at any point. We don't have a deep roster, but we've got a roster with quite a few options, so makes it a little bit more intriguing than years past where you just got, you know, guys playing in one position. I've got guys that can DH, play the field, pitch, DH, back and forth, so we got some options.
Yeah, sounds like some versatility really,
Yeah.
really, you know, is a key element. Will help you guys out. Have you set any, you know, maybe some, you know, everybody wants to win a state title, but are there maybe some benchmark goals that you've set for, you know, the course of the season?
Wise friend told me once, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Yeah, of course you want to set that goal. You want to win a district, you want to win a regional, you want to win a state. We just want to win the first game to start, and then we can build from there. Get it started, you know, that first one hopefully is the right one, and then you can, you know, play it out as that. I don't want to set anything too high and then it be something that we can't attain. So my goal right now is that first game, win game one.
Yeah, and just like, you know, you mentioned last year, you know, it was 0-5 to start. Without putting, you know, all the emphasis and pressure on that, but talk about, you know, being able to get that first win early, and would that be a big advantage for you guys maybe mentally?
You win that first game, your confidence is huge because you've got to win. You know, teams that are 0-2, 0-3, 0-5, they're scary because they're scratching, they're biting at the bit to get that first win. So they obviously play a little bit harder every game. Last year, we did that. We just played tough teams, and we came up a little short. Sometimes we came up, you know, quite a bit short, but that I think has made these guys a little bit stronger. You know, Ryan played quite a bit last year over at Terravella, so he's no newcomer to varsity baseball. It's just a different group of kids. A lot of the kids he grew up with lives across the street from Logan, so, you know, everybody knows everybody.
For the players, how has the off season been coming back into this season in terms of, you know, improving your game, improving your camaraderie? What have you guys been doing to get yourself ready for the season?
Just been practicing every day, 6 days a week, getting our work in, hitting in cages, throwing bullpens, working on catching drills. Everyone's doing their thing with coaches, doing what they got to do to get ready for the season.
In the fall, were you guys playing games, or was it more just individual workouts, or what?
We were playing games. We had a fall season, a pretty good fall season, you know. Some heartbreaking losses, some great games. Everybody learned. Everybody got better. It was a good fall overall.
And where are you guys improving? You know, give me specifics if you can as to where you think your improvements
Yeah,
have
we
been.
got this.
What was the question?
Just where you think you guys have improved. Have you improved in your defense? Have you improved in your hitting? You know, where do you
Really
guys-
everywhere. I mean, I think that we're definitely a good team to compete this year. Compared to last year, like Coach said, we're hitting better. Our defense is much better. Pitching, we got a lot of pitching this year, and I just think that we're ready to compete. I think we're going to be a very good team.
Add on to that, like Coach Fed was saying, we got Coach Lopes from Deerfield. He studies the game a lot. He's taught us a lot. It's very he lets us think. He makes us. It's not just fundamentals. We're really going in depth on hitting and everything like that. So I think there should be a nice improvement this year with hitting.
And for the coach, you know, where are you seeing things compared to last season coming into, you know, for the fall and now to this season?
Well,
where do you see the improvement?
Seeing the development from last year to this year, our fall is a little bit different than quite a few others. We don't play as many games. We'll go away to tournaments on the weekend, 1 or 2. We keep it light, fun, loose. You know, some of them are playing just come off the summer, so we're trying not to get anybody burnt out for the springtime. So we're trying to keep everything nice and relaxed. But once we get back in January, though, it's a completely different atmosphere. You know, it's full go, it's ready to go. Defensively, I think we will be much improved from last year. Again, offensively, should be better than we were last year, and then, you know, pitching should be again better than we were last year. But again, it's all based on who's healthy. You know, when somebody goes down hurt, then we got to find the next piece to fit the puzzle. Sometimes it doesn't always work.
And one of your players highlighted pitching, so maybe you can talk a little bit more about your pitching staff for the season. Is it so critical for your success?
We got 9 to 10 arms. Nobody's again in the beginning of this season. I'm not worried about guys going out and, you know, 6-7 innings. We're looking at, you know, try to keep them on a pitch count so that we can stretch them out throughout the season. We got 8, 9, well, like I said, 9 or 10 guys that can throw. We're not looking for anybody to go out and throw complete games. We're just looking for strikes. You know, less is more. Less strikeouts, more ground balls. I'll take 3 pitch innings all day. So from that standpoint, you know, as far as the pitchers and the pitching staff goes, you know, if this guy doesn't have, we're going to move on to the next one immediately.
And what would you say your offensive identity is?
It's going to be scrappy. We got a little bit of speed that we can run with. We're not going to be hitting, you know, we're not going to be standing there hitting balls over the fence. We're going to be gap to gap was what Coach Love's been trying to teach kids, and let our kids run.
Well, guys, I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much for coming here today. Here's to less losses, more wins, like you said.
Thanks again, Rick.
Thank you very much. Best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.